It's the Pod in the City weekly roundup. I'm John.
And I'm Amanda. SNL 50 is here, and after 50 years of late night comedy, SNL continues to stir controversy, even in the most middling of episodes.
Megalopolis may have cost viewers 2.5 hours of their lives, but it cost Francis Ford Coppola $120 million of his own money and the last remaining shred of his artistic integrity.
And over in Sister Wives land, Cody and Robin presented the most cringy combination of Jenga and caramel apples this world has ever seen.
All that and so much more on this week's episode of the Pod in the City weekly roundup. Hi, kid.
All right. Hey,
there's
what's
two
up?
people here now. Hi.
Amazing.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Let us know who you are in the comments. Hi, people. Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Nice to
All
see
right.
you guys.
Oh, see, I think that the count that we're seeing is different.
I
now
think it is
whatever.
wrong because three people commented and it says, oh, now it says 5. Oh, goodness. Who knows? Oh, hi.
Look, let's just
hi,
let's
people.
Just do it. We're nailing
it. Hi,
guys.
If you're new here, this is the weekly roundup. Aminata and Joan, we're here to bring you all the gossip and all the, it's not really news, but like TV, all that BS. So if you're excited, hit subscribe right now. Hit it. Also, hit like. And if you're watching this later, please leave us a comment. Also, check out our podcast here and over on all the podcast places. And you can check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
Amanda, are you going to give us an update? See, I thought I just was feeling really reared up to get that going. Or do you want to?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I guess my update for this week is that Josie, the little black chihuahua that I had last week, I think she found a home. She's doing a home visit today. So yay. And I think they're rich. That was like one of my things. I was like, I want her to go to a home where like people have nothing else to do and they're going to spoil her every day of her life.
That's really good.
Yeah,
she was such a sweetie. So
I was obsessed with her. I like cried when I gave her away, but actually it was not as bad as I thought it would be. I accepted it. And then after looking at my money situation, I was like, I could not possibly afford to have another animal now. But I do get one of these puppies coming to me this weekend, I think. I don't know anything about them, but I just love the names. I got the choice.
They're puppies?
They're all puppies. This is Merlot, whiskey, amaretto, half pint, and Hennessy. I want whiskey. Both dog and in life.
They all look cute.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to regret it. I don't like puppies.
Probably because does Walter like puppies?
Walter just kind of tolerates whatever.
Do the dogs or do the cats like puppies?
The cats like to fuck with the dogs because they just they'll walk by and be like, hi, and then the dog will go after them and then they get in trouble. But yay, so that a puppy will be here maybe next week, or it's gonna be like a huge mistake. I'm gonna have my hair is gonna be like Medusa frazzled, but yay, fun. Puppies.
Well, interesting. And that's kind of like an extended fostering period then, no? Or
I think I would be like the foster. So we'll see. But I can say it's not working out whenever I want. So
okay, so it says that the time on YouTube is off by an hour each week.
I think just this week because you're the one that set it up.
No, they said this each week.
Every week?
And how is it off by an hour? Because it did say that it was time to go live, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that seems to be a YouTube problem, and it's taken me 6 months to even go and input my tax information. All right, well, we'll deal with that later. This will be off my conversation.
Because when you schedule it, it says it's going to post in Mountain Standard Time. It says that on the thing.
Well, I don't know, but
we'll any gays. Well,
let's do some housekeeping.
Oh, Salawalaway, honey, we're not mad at you. Never.
No, we're not mad. Oh yeah, weren't you gonna make another one of these? Here's the last time you guys will see.
I was hoping you just wouldn't even play.
Great. What do we got? What do we got coming up this week?
This week, oh yeah, this technically it only dropped on our Patreon today. It feels like that was forever ago. It's the finale to season 2 of Sex and the City. Guys,
Your new
what
girl is lovely, Hubble.
I've
Or your
been
girl
hearing
is
some
lovely, Heather.
feedback from people, and I'm going to say that even if you're watching our live and you don't like Sex and the City, people are saying they like these. They're funny.
Yeah, you don't really
We
have to
spend
watch
plenty of time not talking about the actual show. So, you know, if you really just
I'm
want to
talking
like
about
hear
our
us
own
BS
lives.
about our own lives and how we've had problems and our issues, and I would check it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Try
a lot
it
of
out,
relatable
baby.
circumstances going on.
And the really cool thing is that if you're on our Patreon, which is $6 a month, it's patreon.com/podinthecity, you get early access. So like people have already gotten to listen to this, but the general public gets to listen to it on Friday. Now, I don't mean the general public because there's plenty of our loyal subscribers who maybe aren't on our Patreon, and that is fine as well. Trust and believe. I don't subscribe to like everyone's Patreon, but we also did the season 1 finale. We made it through a full season of Broad City, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it only had 10 episodes, but we made it.
And Girls, we finished Girls last month too.
I will say it's about 48 minutes in before we do a recap.
I always put a timestamp,
episode.
baby. Don't you worry.
So, but I think most people would be more interested in the first half.
Well, we'll see.
We kind of just bitched about our lives.
Yeah, we just bitched about how badly our lives are going.
I will say though, coming this week is a very, very exciting episode, and that's our Pillow Talk episode. Trois.
Yeah. Great.
Can you make sure that you label?
Oh, look at this! Anya Gallant Dunkel, Brianna.
Oh yeah. Okay, great. Someone's excited.
Oh yeah, she's excited for season 2 of And Just Like That. There's a lot of Briannas that listen, but I think that me and Jody might have just picked a TRP request of yours. Maybe if you recommended a catfish episode, we just picked it, or it was another.
Now's
Brianna.
the time that I do want to plug Amanda's other podcast.
You don't have to.
Maybe she could plug our podcast on her.
I do. I talk about it sometimes. I say you. I say Joan a lot.
And people are like, "Who is that?"
Yeah,
oh, that one I don't want to listen to. Just saying, this week is our Pillow Talk episode, and the topic du jour is one we're going to hear an update about Amanda getting some, and then we're going to hear maybe, possibly, and then we're going to hear our like.
It was supposed to be last night, Joan, and it got changed to tomorrow at the last minute. And I was like,
you like that though, allegedly.
Yeah, I know. It's the best relationship I've ever been in. We both.
Yeah, but aren't you like getting yourself like extra fresh in order to get like all that, and then you like wasted all that time to get like extra fresh?
No, I was literally I was showered and I had my curling iron on and my hair was half up, like ready to curl it, and I was walking downstairs to start making dinner, and that's when I got the text, "Hey, I probably won't be there until 7:30, 8 p.m. Is that too late?" And I was like, "Yes."
7:30 or 8.
Curling iron off. Well, he's supposed to be there at 6.
Oh, hate that.
Probably wouldn't have been that late, but come on.
Hate that. Anyway, I do want to say, again, 5 minutes later, on the Pillow Talk episode, we're going to be talking about, one, our childhood crushes, but also that trend that hear me out. And now you guys do that anyway, but people have been putting like pictures of people on cakes.
Yeah.
So like our weird or like, animated or not real or whatever crushes.
Busted people that we want to have sex with. Yeah, perfect. All right. Should we get into some hot topics?
Yeah.
There's so many pictures I have to scroll. Okay, here we go.
You have to scroll. The sad thing is that Maggie Smith died. Now, she was of an age that it's understandable. This bitch lived a life, and she is a fabulous bitch to end all everything. All right. Tell me, Amanda, what was your like first? Because
Well,
like
this
growing
woman
up,
has
like
been
she was an icon.
she's been playing a woman like on her deathbed for the past my entire lifetime, basically. The first thing I knew her
Yeah.
from is as Wendy in Hook. Like that's like I guess probably the
Oh
first time I really
yeah.
like put together who that was. And she was playing like Ancient in that. And that was
I
what,
didn't
like
even
92?
realize that was her.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've aged her here because she looks exactly this age, like
That's what I was
now.
gonna say. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Sister Act.
Come
That's like,
on.
come on, Mother
Come
Superior.
on.
Come on. I also will say honorable mention to her in First Wives Club when she plays Gunilla Garson Goldberg. She's fabulous. She's the like original first wife. You know, many people knew her for what's this show called? Downton Abbey.
Downton
Almost
Abbey,
called
the
it
Dowager
Bridgerton.
Countess. I feel like you would like this show. It's kind of a slow burn. Kind of a
That's the
slow
reason
burn.
I don't think I would like it.
But I
Because
like
I
it, and
think I'd be bored. But,
yeah, but I get bored in watching everything. But it's
oh,
good. It's
okay.
very good and she's very funny. She's the Sophia of the show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
So
I say rest in power, Miss Maggie Smith. Oh,
yeah,
Dame, not Miss, Dame Maggie
Dame.
Smith. Oh my God. Shut my mouth, John.
But yeah,
Dame Maggie Smith.
she'll be remembered by many generations. She's also in Harry Potter.
There's
So
also
yay.
documentary Tea with the Dames. Isn't it Tea with
Oh
the Dames?
yes, yeah. I think I heard about that on Lady Watch. They talked about her a lot on Lady Watch. Everyone should check out that podcast too. It's the first podcast I ever listened to. But Maggie Smith,
Now,
we love you, and you'll live forever in infamy. Now, here's one that was
I
a little
mean,
more like less timely.
I
Whew.
was scrolling through TikTok, I think, and one
Yeah,
popped up, and I literally was
I texted you and
okay.
Nick, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Now, if you guys don't really know Broadway, you might not know this person, but it's Gavin Creel, and he was in a bunch of shows on Broadway, and he was in you know, people might recognize him because he was in Eloise. I think it was called Eloise at the
Yes,
Plaza.
that's what I kept saying that on TikTok, that it was like for anyone exactly my age, this is how we know him. And I guess like in that it's a Christmas movie and he sings Together Wherever We Go with someone in it, and I like watched it. And I feel like he's very much God, who's the king in Hamilton. I feel like he's a Jonathan Groff. I think I said that to you and Nick. I was like, he's a less like abrasive Jonathan Groff to me. He just seemed like such a genuinely nice, kind person. And everyone just universally
He's
loved him.
amazing, yeah.
I
was
saw him in
surprised.
Hair in the park. Were you there for that?
Nope.
Okay, well, we saw this in the park, and I got to see his penis.
Oh,
It was a
great.
good penis. But anyway, yeah, and he was in Into the Woods most recently. Oh, and he just won a Tony for Hello Dolly. He played Cornelius Hackle. Put on your Sunday clothes. Super tragic, and he got
It really
diagnosed
was.
3 months ago. So new fear unlocked for
Yeah,
hypochondriac.
it's really unfortunate, and because he was such a light for the world, and again, that's someone who luckily was able to like share their gifts, and their legacy too will like live on
Yeah.
because they're all
He's
over the
40
place.
years old only. That is so crazy. But he seemed to genuinely love doing theater and just love like being part of it. So that's nice to see. And you can all over my TikTok are like compilations of him singing and just being and he was also the original Elder Price in I think the West End Book of Mormon. I think he was the
Oh,
original lead for that. And then I think maybe he toured in Canada. So
pretty sure I saw him in Thoroughly Modern Millie when I was
yeah.
in high school.
Sutton Foster.
It wasn't Sutton Foster. It was like the replacement of her. It was like Daisy Egan, I think.
Oh, Daisy Egan. I like her.
I think
Beauty
that's
and the
her
Beast.
name. Or was it Susan Egan?
Susan Egan, probably.
Who's
Daisy
Daisy
Egan.
Egan? Is that her sister?
Garden? Is that the
Oh,
little
that's
girl from Garden?
actress. Well, that's an actress now, I think,
Okay.
who does movies. Anyway, guys,
Well, R.I.P. Gavin Creel.
we'll start. Yeah. Now, abrupt shift here. Amanda, let's get this comment down. want to say this with the dame's name on the. Amanda creamed herself hard this week, guys, because it was SNL's season 50 premiere.
Yeah. And it was Jean Smart. And I mean, she gives me so much Kim Cattrall energy.
You know what I
Does she
realized?
look like what?
You don't your intro clip is here.
Oh yeah, which one is that?
It's gone, actually. I didn't mean it was here.
You did that on purpose.
It's not here. I did that.
Did you
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
I didn't. I deleted it months ago, but oops, guys. Jean Smart is my icon. I love her. Have loved her since Designing Women. Though we did abandon that on our Patreon, we still love her.
It wasn't happening.
Unfortunately,
slow burn.
Amanda are going to do a. Hopefully, they do like a Charlene, like throwback. Unfortunately, I don't think they did. Right.
No, they did not. So, first of all, it turns out that she was, I think, sick throughout the week. So she was cut from a bunch of sketches and she seemed a little out of it. But I was actually reading, I actually thought she was very comfortable. And her monologue, I just thought she seemed so comfortable and so chill. And I was very impressed. She didn't seem nervous at all. She almost seemed like she didn't give a shit, but in a way that she still gave a shit. So I was into that. She's saying I happen to like New York and then was kind of, and it's just a vamp. So she was going in and out of the vamp. And I was just really impressed with that. But then it turned out that she was sick. So I wonder if she was just kind of like on some like good drugs and she's like, just let me go through this stupid shit. And the show was not great. They didn't, I don't know. I feel like this first show back is always a bit clunky, but I don't know why, because it seems like they have a few months off to kind of get some stuff like in the can.
I think that there is a meshing of comedy nowadays and the generations, and that's and I know that they're really just trying hard to appeal to young viewers and everything, but I don't know that SNL has ever been a show that 18-year-olds are like dying to watch SNL. Has it ever been that?
Yeah, well,
you were like a nerdy 18-year-old. You weren't like the
but that's
key
what
demographic
it's
they're searching.
Isn't it?
I think they're trying to court cool
like TikTok. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. But I feel like we still stay current
not judging
on
by
that stuff,
saying
so
you
we
were nerdy.
get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the opening sketch was Harris Waltz. Oh, well, I guess it was like dueling debates. But we have Jim Gaffigan as Tim Waltz, which is a good choice. He has like perfect Midwest energy. I feel like Tim Waltz looks exactly like Richard Kind, and that's who I think should have done it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Don't you think?
I think Richard Kind is too old at this point.
Oh, he doesn't have that old of a face. I don't know. But either way, Jim Gaffigan
gives me too old of vibes to probably portray the energy that Jim Gaffigan does put a lot of energy into it. And I do think Tim Waltz himself gives off like a lot of energy.
For sure he does. All right, we had Dana Carvey as Joe Biden, and he found a really good spin on it. And I don't know, I think everyone was just so excited when he came out. When he first made his entrance, you really had no idea who this was because you couldn't really see his face, but he was embodying Biden perfectly.
Even when he first started talking, I was like, who is that?
It's good, and it's nice to kind of have this old school kind of comedy in here. Like, it's just nice. It's a nice throwback. He's such an icon of the show.
I definitely think, though, if I was like a cast member of this show, I'd be like, okay, well, like, couldn't one of us have played Biden? Or like,
I know, but I don't know if there is anyone who would have. Well, I guess a couple. Yeah, Mikey did. Well, anyway, all that aside, it's SNL 50.
I get it.
They're trying to make it anyway, and obviously Maya Rudolph. Okay, and we have Andy Samberg playing her husband,
Doug
everyone's
Emhoff.
favorite golden retriever husband. And it was good. It's fine, I guess. Like I don't really know much about Doug Emhoff, but the big news of the week was, okay, I watched this sketch several times and I loved it. I loved it from just watching it live and not knowing that it was going to create controversy. Within a couple minutes of the sketch, I was like, this is so well written. And I was like, oh, he's like comparing it to Chappell Roan. Like, and just the whole thing was funny. The costume was amazing. Every time he turned to the side and was taking that shot from the hose, like, It was so funny. And I love that Colin was genuinely laughing. But then I wake up the next day and everyone's like, Chapel Roan is going to be furious. I'm like, oh, I didn't find it offensive at all. I thought it was really funny and topical. And it almost seemed like he was paying homage to her. What do you
I
think?
think that, and I am in no way like a person who's like, we've gotten too politically correct. Trust me, I am woke as hell.
Yeah.
I cringe when I hear certain things that are people say and stuff, but like I think that like there has to be a level of, and now the argument, I'm going to pause here for a second because the argument I've heard is that this is a gay man judging a
Oh,
woman, how
God.
much do
Okay.
gay men hate women, et cetera, et cetera. And
I
I
feel like
just
we're
hope,
running around in
as a
circles
gay
at this point.
man,
Yeah.
why are you saying we hate women? I love women. Are you if I could get rid of every man on earth and pretty much just
I
exist with
agree.
all women, I would. So please cut the bullshit. All right. We're still allowed to be critical. I understand that you love Chapel Roan. You want to
I love
insulate
Chapel
her.
Roan though, and I'm
I
on
do
her side
too.
for all of it. And I did not take this as offense. I took this as, and I listen to Les Culturistas every week. He loves Chapel Roan. What I loved about the sketch is like I thought of you, Joan, because I was like, this is like two of me and Joan's like favorite things right now, like perfectly
Exactly.
together. And Bowen always writes sketches like that. He wrote a Challenger sketch the weekend. He's
This
always
is one of the
really
more
on it.
topical and better things they've probably done in a minute that actually made sense and was like, oh, that's kind of intelligent. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, it's a fucking joke. My one thing that I'm like, I am totally on Chapel Roan's side as far as the give her space. Like you don't need to be
Yeah.
chasing her down the street, yelling her real name, etc., at her and talking about her, whatever. But I will also say that when you like want to pursue a music career to the level of being a celebrity, like there are elements of being a celebrity that you just have to get over and get used to.
I
That
feel like I
I'm
disagree with
fearing
that
she
though. Why
I
can she not be like, I don't want to have a public persona? Why is that like so bad?
I I th- I'm not making it a black and white situation.
Oh,
What
I
I'm
know.
saying is there's like she can disagree with 95% of what it means to be a celebrity, but like it's kind of hard if you're trying to put yourself out there, you're putting out very personal music, putting out pieces of yourself, you're going on award shows, etc. You're
That's
putting
true.
yourself
If you
out
do
there.
also want to go and walk the red carpet and go to events, then yeah, I guess in that case,
Like
yes.
if you
Okay,
just
so
if it's
yeah,
all about just making the music and touring, then make music and go on tour and don't do any of the part that has to do with the celebrity aspect. And I'm not being one. I'm not sorry. I'm a gay guy like judging Chapel Roan. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm really not. I'm just saying this as a person who has maybe a few years on Chapel Roan and a little experience of life of just being like, there's parts of it that you have to just kind of be like, whatever. And
yeah.
now she hasn't even come out saying that she has a problem with this.
No, she
It's
hasn't.
those
It's
same,
everyone else. I don't think she
it's
even
the same
cares.
parasocial fans that she probably has an actual issue with that are coming out being like, don't judge her. Come on. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Well,
okay.
anyway, she's gonna be on SNL in a couple weeks, so I
People
cannot
though immediately
wait.
were like, check for Chapel's cancellation at 10:25 p.m. like
I
5
don't
minutes
see that
before.
happening. Yeah.
Me neither.
Well, okay.
And
Well,
maybe
great.
she'll do something with Bowen on it.
I'm sure Bowen's gonna be all over that shit. Of course
Maybe
that well,
she
anyway.
should be dressed as Moo Tang. If she was doing it next weekend, she could do it
It's
as
not
this
next
weekend as
weekend though.
Moo Tang.
It'll be old
I
news
know.
by the time
It'll
she's
be
on.
like people like, who is that? All right, guys, strap in.
Oh my god. There's so
Global All
much
Stars is
drag
still
this week.
on. And guess what? They did a roast. And guess what?
Alyssa was the best.
They put the like, guess what, guys? The non-native English speakers were in the bottom. Oh my
Oh,
God. What?
yeah, it's not really fair
Wow.
to do like a comedy challenge when like comedy depends so much on like wording and phrasing and like
I'm
intonation.
fine. I'm fine with doing a comedy challenge. There's ways to push past all of that, but you're doing a roast where you're expecting these people to write jokes to your sensibility,
Well, exactly, yeah.
to the American or the westernized sensibility. And it's like some of these people, like, that it's just not going to compute. Anyway, I'm ready for it to be over. So let's crown someone
I'm ready
already.
for it to be over
I will
too.
say I like Tessa Testicle. I like her. She's pretty fucking funny on the show, and I like her, and I like Nehelenia. She's like the underdog that everyone now wants to win, but they won't win. They won't let her win. They wouldn't let her win this week. They could have been an easy win to give the girl. She's the only one they haven't given a win to, but she's been in the top like a bajillion times. They do that. I'm sick of it, Drag Race. Stop making the same storylines that you're trying to produce, like the girl who doesn't get any wins and then is so close to the end that she's about to break that you're trying to piss them off and make them so upset because they have no wins. And then you get them and give them a second place win towards the end where they don't even get enough already. Now, I did watch Drag Race UK season 6, which premiered this week. Shocker. It actually was entertaining. I'll say it had a bunch of new queens. Couldn't remember 99% of their names because again, they're introducing too many people way too quick and all the time. But it was the talent show thing, and they all did pretty good. You know, they're UK queens and that kind of area, like Europe. I feel like there's a tendency to be more artistic.
Yeah, I liked
That may
that.
be
I
stupid to
watched
say,
the first
but-
season of UK, I think, when I was recovering from my ankle, and I remember loving it. I was also on so many drugs, but like I loved it. I
They're
laughed a lot.
all the people on it are hilarious, and it's only the first episode, so we'll see. At Global All Stars episode 1, I was like, ooh, and then it's very quickly nosedived. All right, now just in time for spooky season, last little drag is Dragula season 6. They're calling it season 666. It premiered, I think, like yesterday. I watched the first episode, but I watched it so late. It's on Shudder. Sorry, guys. Or AMC Plus is where I
just canceled all of my subscriptions, including Discovery Plus, which carries Sister Wives. So I don't see myself watching Dragula.
Well,
they all look like Evie Oddly, is what I said.
Oh, great.
They all look exactly like Evie Oddly.
I really like Dragula because it does something slightly different than Drag Race. All the girls are presenting something that you're surprised by. You know, it is unfortunate that because all these drag seasons run one into the other, that the girls start to become indistinguishable from each other. It's like, who is this one? Who is that? But I love Dragula. Watched every single season from the start when they were just on like YouTube. And so I fucking love this shit. Love the Boulet brothers. Can't wait for the rest of this season. And I will be tuned in, baby.
All right. What else we got coming up on TV? Speaking of franchises that do too much at the same time.
Oh my God. Well, this is exciting, I will say, because we have been in a slight drought. As a Real Housewives fan, I watch all the episodes, you know, when they come out. I don't have cable, so I don't watch them live, but I watch them the next day on Peacock. Go Peacock. We were in a drought. There was like a minute where I don't even know if there was a drag race. Oh God.
A Real Housewives.
A Housewives show playing. I don't think there was a Housewives show playing. Jersey sucked. Maybe that was the problem. I think Jersey was playing and it was
Jersey
terrible.
Was on for a while there, yeah.
And now they're feeding the children, as one might say. They're popping the horns and feeding the children. Right now we have OC, which is fine. I'm ready for it to be over because I can't stand Lexi and Johnny J. I can't deal with Lexi and Johnny J.
I feel like they're quickly making themselves less likable than Cody and Robin, and that's pretty hard to do.
I don't understand how delusional they are to think that anyone is going to be on their side. Alexis literally spent this whole episode making everyone's situation about her. It was crazy.
Dude, what is going on with this time on YouTube? We need to like be on top of this. I
Okay,
didn't know
well,
this
I
was a
think
problem, so we'll fix this.
it says on our thing that it's
Yeah, but
time to go
we'll have to
live.
double check it on actual
Maybe
YouTube.
Amanda needs to be scheduling it because
I
I live in the
do.
Grays. I scheduled it this week
Okay, but either way, I'll look it
and
up.
last
Don't worry,
week, I
Bibbies.
think.
We got you covered. Okay, so OC, you know who I
OC.
really like? You know who I really like?
Who?
Heather Dubrow.
Oh, girl. Have you
hate
watched
her.
all the OC seasons?
No, but I watched like a good
Mm-mm.
significant amount. Not significant. I watched a good amount.
mm-mm.
I've watched a
hate
few
Heather.
episodes. But I
I'm
hate
so
Heather.
not on. I was so on Emily's side. I could
I
not
love Emily.
handle
I
it.
love Emily and
I
Jenna.
never liked Emily very much, and I hate her husband, but
her husband's creepy. But yeah,
I
anyways,
don't really
Shannon Bedore, I
know.
just feel horrible for.
But as we may have found out, she may be a total witch behind the scenes of another show that someone's hosting. Let's just breeze past that. But Salt Lake City is on. It's still getting its place of, everyone hates Whitney Rose now.
Well,
whatever.
everyone's just trying to
Manufacture
find
drama.
Yeah, everyone's trying to figure out what their storyline is. I guess Meredith settled on a reused storyline from Sex and the City men just like that. No, because she's gonna do like a bat mitzvah, a bay mitzvah.
Oh,
Brooke's
yes.
gonna want it to be a bay.
I remember that. And she's like, when I can't, there's a girl on TikTok who does a Meredith impression that is so good.
You have to
she's
treat
all about
Meredith's
bath
voice like you're
bombs.
taking like a big shit. Like you kind of have to bear down because it's kind of down.
Oh, see, I'm thinking it gives like a British, like a almost British, like not British, but almost British.
I think it's more that she slurs her words because she's always so benzoed up,
like,
allegedly.
Whitney's making bath bombs. I'm the bath person. New York came on, and guys, this is the only picture that a stupid ass StreamYard would let me upload. So that's why it looks shitty.
This looks janky as fuck.
It is. I tried 8 different versions.
The season of Girls. Is it this season? We're heading into season
Jenna
2
Lyons
of Girls. Yeah, Jenna Lyons is on an episode. It might be later on, actually.
I'm not really looking forward to this. I watched last season. It sucked. But the season of NYC before that sucked too. New York used to be New York. Real Housewives of New York. Season, I think 8 or 9 is one of the best Housewives seasons there is. It is a perfect cast. Okay?
Okay. I mean, I believe
Get rid of this shit. It sucks.
Okay.
But the queens are coming back, honey, because it took me a couple. Now, I loved Atlanta and I've loved all of the seasons, but Potomac, because I had no idea what it was. I was like, what the fuck is Potomac? And I tried to watch the first season of it when it came out. And the whole thing behind it was like, oh, you have to be very you're too lowbrow. You must be classy to fit into Potomac society. But now it's, of course, gotten to the point of all housewife shows where it's just pure trash. So I love it.
All right.
It's coming back too. So basically, if you are a Housewives fan, here is your week. Okay? Tonight, Salt Lake City. I think tomorrow, OC. Sunday, Potomac.
And Sister Wives.
Tuesday. Oh. Potomac. Tuesday. New York.
Okay.
That would have been a nice little thing to. Anyway, cool.
All right.
That's all for the
It's all for hot topics. We're doing it. This is amazing. I'm so sad that you deleted SNL Corner because I don't think I can remake that, and I definitely lost the track of Brad saying the thing.
You don't have it saved?
No, I would have deleted. Maybe I don't know. I look fat in it anyway. It's fine. I'm fine. I'll redo it. I'll redo it looking so skinny. Here, let's get into some John's Movie Corner.
Yay. Anyway. Yay. I have been hyped 4 weeks,
Yeah, you
perhaps
kept
months,
talking about it.
for the wild robot, and it finally came out. And guess what, guys? I saw it in 3D, and guess what? I loved it,
Hey, it
and I
sounds really
cried my
overstimulating
eyes
all that.
out.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. Remember the movie The Brave Little Toaster? That was like the
Yeah.
original Pixar kind of. This isn't Pixar though.
This
But
is
anyway.
like giving vibes of Homeward
WALL-E?
Bound with a Wally situation, with a, you
God, you said it was.
what was that movie where they were trying to get the geese to fly?
Fly Away Home.
That's a part, like there's a
Canada.
goose
Jeff
flying.
Daniels, Anna
There's like
Paquin.
a bird trying to fly away for winter.
Oh
All
my
this.
gosh. Maybe I'm
It-
sure I'd cry if it has.
Oh my god! By the end, dude, I saw it in 3D, and because I don't have that long of eyelashes, but somehow if I cry, I get tears on my eye or on my eyes.
Fogs up.
I don't get fog. It gets literally like the teardrops get on my
Oh.
glasses because
Yeah.
my eyelashes are touching anyway. No one gives a shit. I had to take my glasses
Wait,
off
hang
with
on,
the
let me
3D
see
glasses
this.
and be like,
John
Go
told this
ahead.
story on our Broad
this is a
City
terrible way to
episode.
sell the Patreon.
No, the twists and turns of this story. I mean,
It was Horse Week, baby, for John. And take that title
not as
with
exciting
for what
as
you
you
will.
think.
Hey,
Well,
I'm
it's not
trying
like
to.
sick. It's not
I'm
sick.
clickbaiting, okay? I'm clickbaiting.
maybe
it was
it is
Horse
sick.
Week over here, baby. I had an opportunity for another horse, Amanda, and I turned it down.
Oh my god! I bet that's a story in itself. Okay, what else? Wild Robot. Well, yeah, you like
Amanda was just clowning on me, par usual. Anyway, saw Wild Robot, loved it. Saw it in 3D. Uh-oh. What happened to my other picture? I think you just deleted.
I might have deleted it. Sorry,
Amanda!
What was it? Oh, Transformers.
I saw
1.
Transformers 1, guys. That movie was also in 3D. I wouldn't have seen it, but it was like not going to be in 3D anymore. And I drove to a theater that was across town, and I will not go to that theater again. It was fine, but it was nothing. It was Harkins, but it was like in Goodyear. And I prefer my one in Scottsdale. So I go to my one in Scottsdale.
Did you go to this after we recorded on Sunday?
Yeah. It was in 3D.
It was late.
I'll say I saw Wild Robot in 3D, and then I saw this Transformers 1, which is an animated movie, but it's all computer animated, but there's no human characters in it, and it's all about Transformers. So like the animation like actually made sense. It's actually probably the best Transformers movie I've ever seen. And the 3D in that, if you have a chance and you like 3D movies and you somehow want to go see Transformers 1, I'd go see that because the 3D was actually really cool in that. It was fine in Wild Robot. It gave a layered look, but in Transformers 1, it was like you know what I mean?
I saw the original Transformers in theater in that little weird gap where I was dating that guy that got the adult circumcision.
I also saw, I think that's a great way. I also saw this. I'm going to. I also saw this masterpiece. Now,
I keep seeing stuff about, I didn't even know this was coming out. I didn't know Adam Driver was in a movie, but I kept seeing stuff on TikTok coming out, and I was wondering, and then I saw that you'd written on our thing, and everyone's trashing it.
This is a project made by Francis Ford Coppola, who made The Godfather, right? And is famous, I guess. It self-funded, $120 million, wrote it, directed it, and what was that comment about Megatron?
I can't get over the fact that they're making Megatron a good guy.
Have you seen the movie, Mandisha? I had an idea for another side podcast that I thought I might add in with, and I could just do it by myself. I want to call it Spoiler Alert, okay, where I actually go through through some of these movies I've seen. Because on
That
here,
is
I
a good
don't
idea, actually.
whole movie, but like I take notes and I know what the fuck happened. Well, I'll say, unfortunately, I read a lot of reviews for this and they were saying it's garbage. It's like The Room, yada, yada. A lot of people were saying that it was so bad, though, that it was like, you're not going to like it. And I kept being like, well, because I read a review that's like, you've got to see it. You're going to hate it, but you got to see it because it's just like, you can't believe what you're watching.
Yeah.
Guys, unfortunately, here's a still. It's all about Adam Driver's character, whose name is Caesar, and he is like in this place called New Rome, and he's basically they're transferring like Roman story into this other thing, but it's all about using this item that he found, and then he's gonna put it into make a building called the Megalopolis. Just look at the set here. That what happens to get these two people to this are they take a one of those things that's in, speaking of First Wives Club, a window washing like thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like those things with the ropes. That is how they got onto this gigantic clock that's facing the sky that doesn't move. Guys, I made it 35 minutes into this movie and then I left.
Oh my god!
I really thought I could do it, but I just, scene after scene, I said, what the fuck? Like, they would keep talking and I would just be like, huh? I was locked in even. I was locked in, okay?
Have you ever seen the movie Fall? Because it just reminds me of that screenshot there.
I'm reading some of the comments. Thank you here for saying I do respect my own time. And in this case, I literally was like, I'd rather be on my phone, not here than this. And I really wanted to see it because I was like, wow, this is going to be like zany. And there were moments in it in the first 35 minutes. Aubrey Plaza is in it. In a pseudo-serious movie, she's playing a character called Wow Platinum, and she hosts a show called like the News Bunny or something. And they have cut, like they start and they cut interspersed with her, and she like is singing the theme song to her news show. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. It makes no sense.
I feel like she's on the verge of being overexposed too.
I love her and I will never think that. Ever.
Okay.
I want to be her friend.
Oh, she's too intimidating for me.
Oh, I would love to be her friend. I love her. Anyway. Don't go see Megalopolis because it wasn't even fun enough to like.
So it wasn't even like a Madam Web. Because that was actually fun to watch.
It literally started being like, man has chosen to go through the world in a way where they have forsaken their elders. Blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, the world is in ruins. There is destruction around us. And it was like a picture of the Twin Towers.
Oh.
Amanda. And then they would cut to a scene of Adam Driver like on a red carpet, act like being like, do, 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 do.
It would be really stuck with you.
It didn't make any fucking sense. And I was like, okay, well, I can't even follow this. I hate it. It's awful. It's awful. It also has Shia LaBeouf, known horrible person, playing like a Michael Jackson-esque. He doesn't act like Michael Jackson. His outfit and like he has his eyebrows glued down the way like a drag queen does, and then has thinner eyebrows drawn on top of them. For what reason? There's no reason.
All right, well.
I hated this movie, and in a way that I would say don't even. And it's 2.5 hours long. Fuck it.
Yeah, no. I don't like.
Here's a movie you should see. I haven't watched it, but Amanda watched it.
Yeah, Will and Harper. This could have been cut to an hour and a half, but it was about 2 hours. But it was, I mean, again, I love SNL, and I love Will Ferrell. I feel like he has like a bad rap, kind of. I don't know. I feel like people. I don't know. I just feel like people don't revere him as much as he doesn't get the brownies that he should. But anyway, he has this best friend that started. He was the head writer. She was the head writer of SNL. They started the first day at SNL, and they just became best friends. This person became the showrunner, all this stuff, and they've been friends ever since. Harper came out as a trans woman, and this is a year after sending out this email. That it opens with Will Ferrell reading the email from Harper saying, "This is what I'm doing. All I ask is that like you just respect it," or whatever. So then they take this road trip across America together, and they like meet up with some of the other SNL people, Kristen Wiig, Will Forte, Molly Shannon. They go get a pedicure with Molly Shannon. It's very cute. And I don't know, it's really not lovely. I mean, you'll definitely cry.
It isn't the part of the premise too about the restrictions on trans rights and
they're
all of that
they're going
throughout
to
the
like
country?
Yeah, they're driving through like the more red states, I guess, or just like smaller towns that this isn't like as
places
big.
So places that are threatening trans rights, basically.
Yeah, and there were a couple moments where Harper was like kind of just nervous, and it was just wasn't feeling safe. But a lot of beautiful moments too, where like they were in a really small town in this dive bar, and this group of people came over and they like played. I think they were Native American, and they started like and then they started like playing like a tribal song for them, and they were performing, and they were so excited. And like Harper like came out and was just like crying. She was just overwhelmed. She's like, "See, like I was making it scary, and they were just lovely people." It was just really great, and it's funny. They give each other shit the whole time. There's a really awkward moment.
One of the hardest things and biggest things about people who maybe have like limited views or like maybe are against transgender people or people in the LGBTQ plus community, it's because they maybe have never had the experience of meeting someone like that or living their life. That's really what, being maybe more sheltered can do to you in all kinds of ways. And once you have that experience of meeting someone in the flesh, seeing they're not this villain that is being vilified, like turned into something by whoever's doing that.
Yeah, and she very eloquently put together like, I know that I still look like a man, and I know I have a lot of work to do. And she's like, I just want to get to the point where like I don't feel like everyone's just seeing man first. But then Will at the end was like, now I just see Harper. And like it was actually one of my favorite moments. And John, we've been talking a lot about like how as we're getting older, we're like the idea of like potentially of just like our impending doom is like in our heads more. But there's just this one moment where they're out, I think they're playing with fireworks by this beach, and Will like the way they're both acting, like it's literally like they're just kids again. It's like two like 20-year-olds running around fireworks, and they're both in their 50s 60s, and I'm like, oh, that just never, like, even when you're old you still like can feel young. It was just like a really nice moment, and they were just so silly boys.
Well, it's also the idea of when do you ever feel old too.
And it was, I don't know. I would say it's an easy watch, and they give each other a lot of shit. Hilarious. Harper is super funny. So give it. It's on Netflix, but one subscription that I did keep.
Ew, I got rid of Netflix so long ago. All right. I am getting excited for the Wicked movie. And I would implore you to check out this amazing TikTok account. It's called Open That Doll. Because I made a TikTok about the Wicked doll. They're making one for Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero. And so I made a TikTok about it. Check it out.
I have a quick question here. Mandesha said that she named her cat after a Will Ferrell character. What is it? I hope it's D'Angelo Vickers, but let me know what it is. Oh, okay. This guy's super hot.
He's from Bridgerton.
He's giving kind of a little Gavin Creel right here, I feel.
I don't think so. I am kind of interested in the way that they've done this movie, because they could have cast all the characters like younger, and they didn't.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that actually.
I mean, it does it really outline like how old you are at Shiz University. Ew, I feel like I'm gonna feel like such a Wicked nerd like when the Wicked movie comes out, because I was like so not on board. But the more I see about it, I'm like,
I know, me too. And I really don't care about Wicked at all, but like I know I'm gonna be really excited. I know it's going to be
Cynthia Erivo alone. I just know she's gonna just eat everything. So I just
Yeah.
love her. I love her. And I'm so glad. Like, I was never really that hard on board with Jonathan Bailey, but these photos, like, I mean, just
Okay.
look at that. Come on, guys. Look at it.
Look at it.
Anyway, it's Amanda's turn
Oh,
for this
thank-
sexy stuff. Ooh, from this, from
To Co-
this to Cody
to
Brown.
Cody Brown.
The sound at the start of that video, it like catches me off guard every time. I'm like, I jump.
You made it.
I know.
Okay.
Chaz Michael Michaels.
Chaz Michael Michaels. What's that? I don't know what that is.
Is that the
Okay.
guy, the like cowbell guy?
I don't think so. Well, let us know in the comments. Okay, Sister Wives this week. Okay, John, all you need to know about the Sister Wives is that Logan got married, and then for the first half of the episode, all the family, it was just
I don't think you're supposed to say Logan, though, right?
How do you even know that?
How did I know that? I think because
Kind of a deep
you
pull for
guys
you.
on your We Love to Hate TV thing, you know, I see the things that come up on it. I don't really read all of them, but you know, some people
Facebook
love
page.
to write, or some people, great fans, wonderful people, write long, detailed information about.
People are very
They
passionate about Sister
shouldn't
Wives,
have.
Joan.
They didn't want them to say their names. They didn't want them to mention it all, but then they mentioned it, and which I get.
Yeah, but then Logan and Michelle came out and were like, we didn't ask them to do that at all. So I think it was just like hilarious. But anyway, it's just
I thought they came out and said that they didn't want them to talk about it at all.
No, they just didn't want their wedding to be filmed. But they were like, it's fine that you could have said our names. But
okay.
anyway, but I don't know, it made it more dramatic. So it was just all the family being like, well, I didn't talk to Cody. And Cody's like, I was just trying to have fun as much as I could. But you know what? I looked over and it seemed like everyone in my family was just pretending like they were having a good time just to like make me upset. It's like, could you be more of a narcissist? God. And then Michelle, the bride, said something shady about that in her comments back to people this week. Like, yeah, we just didn't want our wedding to be filmed, but it was really fun to tune in this week and see that apparently no one was actually having fun and it was all just fake. So I was like, yeah, get them. But really the big scene of this episode, we also got to see McKelty give birth to her twins. Go away, McKelty and Tony. But there's this little insular scene in the middle here where Cody and Robin have decided that we're going to have family game night. Also, this family game night was filmed like 2 weeks ago because they're all way older than they are in the actual footage. But family game night, and it's so that Cody can be like, I have all this fun with my family. We play games, we play Jenga, we do this, we sing, trying to make it seem like, look how much fun we're having as a family. And it is, John, like, it is one of the most cringy, and it was just never ending. And it was like, I was like getting heart palpitations watching it because it was just so awkward. He's like, so how do you play this game? And Robin brought out these candied apples. Look at these. And my God, this was the big discussion on our live, is that Jody's like, this is probably like $30 like worth of apples. And I was like, yeah, candy apple. But people, I was never allowed to eat candied apples growing up. I've never tasted one in my life other than those suckers.
Well, I think you'd call these caramel apples.
Yeah, well, and I wasn't allowed to eat any of this kind of stuff because I'd break my teeth, Joan. So anyway, Robin brought out these apples, and then the whole thing, it was just like so awkward. They're all sitting on the floor.
I love those apples when you they get them cut up into the
Never
pieces.
Had them. Well, anyway, she brought these for
to an apple stand, Amanda. Don't they have
I think Robin
apples?
ordered these. People figured out, obviously people already figured out they were from the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Company or whatever. But anyway, so they're all playing this game. These two fucking mid-20s girls here. Not early 20s.
They're mid-20s?
Well, they're like early 20s. I don't know. They're in their 20s. They're both 2-0 or higher. And they have to sit down and be like, yay, Jenga. It's just the most awkward shit ever. What's this? Yeah. And then Robin and Saul, look at the fun they're having here. Look at the fun.
It wasn't you. It was the stack.
It's just, it was so cringy. And Cody's like, family game night. We do this, like this game here. And then the whole time Cody's like posing like this the whole time, because he's on like roids. And it was just really...
He is?
he's on a bunch of stuff. I think he's on testosterone. He's on a bunch of things. And we got a real nice shot of his bald spot in this as he was setting up the Jenga.
Say this right here, like
look how red he is. Look how
there's two tendrils coming down
he
the front.
is. Yeah.
Well, that's
if he up about the Jenga.
If he's on steroids and stuff, it does make your face red, I think.
Well, yeah, probably.
I want a caramel apple now too. At Costco, they sometimes have a stand, like a freestanding table where you can like pick out like 4 for $15.
I guess I need to eat a fucking caramel apple this week, and I'll probably break my tooth, and my mom will be like, Amanda.
Oh, they're soft. Like the caramel's soft on it.
Oh,
candy apple is what you're thinking too, which has the hard. It's like crunchy on the outside. I've never eaten a candy apple because they're usually like cinnamon kind of on the. Ew, I don't like those.
Ew.
But
well, anyway. That was Sister Wives, and it continues to be amazing. This week, we're getting into Thanksgiving and more with Tony and McKelvey.
Thanksgiving.
Amazing. Oh, Walter's giving big stretch back there. Bathed in
he's
light.
Like perfectly lit. I love it.
Little baby.
TikTok, you don't stop.
Would love to open the window or open the blinds. Like I lift up the bottom of my blinds and she like runs across the bed and then lays around.
Joan, I think we're going to end right at the hour. This is amazing. Okay. These are the 3 things that I'm watching on TikTok is this woman, Margie Eldrith. I don't know what
last year. It's the Cab Calloway School of the Arts.
Oh, yes.
Last year they did, maybe that was the year before. One of the years.
No, my office was turned this way, so yeah.
They did this. They put up pictures of different what their school musical is going to be, and then every day they take one down until the last day. And now this is the people that I kind of feel kind of started that trend.
This is definitely the woman that started that trend.
Because it became a big thing, and people still do it now when they introduce their
and
thing.
I think it's a great idea.
It is. It's cute.
I love that musicals are just getting recognition at all. And as she pulls one that's going to be eliminated, she gives like information on the musical that it was. So I just love it. There's always a couple on there where I'm like, oh God, I hope for everyone's sake they don't pick that. And there's also
a couple that I'm like, there's no way they can do that.
Well, there's a lot that's like Little Shop of Horrors. I'm like, you can't do that at like a school for the arts because it's a cast of like 7. But anyway, this week or this year they got
They're gonna do Rent, baby.
That is pretty exciting. I feel like Rent has finally surpassed the like Rent. Rent. I feel like now we're back.
I think for a teenager or in a high school, I don't think Rent ever stopped. Personally, I don't think a teenager would ever think Rent was cringy. I think there was always like boundary pushing for them. And so if my high school did Rent,
I would lose my mind.
I would be like, I would just be queening out beyond. I think these are really cool because they end up doing, some of these places end up doing like a little celebration on the last day when they reveal the thing. And it just makes it really special. And that's really cool. It's like these.
I always think of the kids that don't get into the show. That's just like the worst. Like, because there are kids in this in here that are not going to get cast in this. I guess Red is such an ensemble in there though.
At high school, I'm pretty sure don't they cast everyone?
No, when we did My Fair Lady, there were people that just didn't get cast, even in the ensemble. And it was a sad day. People were like crying in the stairwells. Yikes. But anyway, keeping with musicals, there's this guy, me and Jody always reference him because he became famous to us because he did this spot on impression of the Golden Bachelor last year. You know that guy, Jerry?
Jerry. Yeah.
And he goes, Cinema Rinky. This Mitch Wood. His name is Mitch Wood. So this guy, but I know, Joan, that he comes up in your algorithm because he's one of these triggering people for me because everything he reenacts makes me like almost breathless with anxiety because it does bring me back to doing theater.
He came up on mine yesterday and I can't remember what it was, but it was one that was just really uncomfortable.
Oh, they're always so uncomfortable, but so true. And so like this one that he's doing here is first day of rehearsal introductions where it's like, Hi, my name's Amanda. I'll be playing Ursula. Her. And I'm just really excited to start. Just all of it. And then like somebody coming out of an audition. This is somebody calling someone after an audition. Yeah, I think it went really good. Yeah, no, I mean, they didn't ask me to stay, but I think it's just because they like didn't need to see anymore. It's just all this triggering shit. But anyway, he's very good. Very hilarious, very triggering. And
I like him, but I also am like, you're a little close to home here.
have you
What-
seen that other guy who does these where it's like the freshman theater kid approaches the senior kid and he's like, "Oh, hi." Hi. Like, have you seen those?
Yeah,
Like,
I
he's just
have.
like, ugh,
Mhm.
and those ones make me feel fat. Okay, and lastly, my
Well, just
favorite-
in time for spooky season, there's
What?
a corpse performing. So just kidding.
I mean,
my
favorite thing on TikTok right now is Frankie Valli. And look, I think that everyone is making fun of this. I don't think anyone is even directing it at Frankie Valli. I think it's more throwing shade at like who the fuck is like allowing this to happen.
My question, not necessarily allowing him to go on stage, but if you guys don't know Frankie Valli, from
Four Seasons.
the Four Seasons, I want
He's
to
also
say
in
the
The
Jersey
Sopranos.
Boys, because he's doing these shows where he's lip syncing very clearly, but his mouth literally is barely moving, and he's like barely walking around the stage, and he's like,
Sherry, Sherry, baby, Sherry. And then so there are people doing impressions of that, of just like,
and it's uncomfortable. Now,
It is.
my question would be, how are you allowed to sell that? How are you selling Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons? And he walks the Four Seasons. They're not the real Four Seasons, obviously.
No, but it's like four
people
young.
who
That's kind
can
of like Mike the
sing.
Situation, hey?
You love to say people look like people, and I don't.
That
ever
looks
think
like
they
Mike the
do.
Situation.
Okay.
Anyway, but I saw a comment on there that was like, actually, I went to one of these concerts, and just for context, I'm 48 and everyone else and I was by far the youngest person in the audience. So I think I mean, that makes sense that it's people, they're not expecting him to actually sing. They're just so excited to be around. So it'd be like us going to see, and Liza came out and did this. I think I would still be shook.
For years, my grandma and I would go to these like shows that were done by a local like production company, that it would be like singing to the or songs of the oldie or songs of the 70s, or it's like, you know, shit like that on Broadway. And it was like concerts, but like mild staging. And
it's like
I would be
that's
the
the way that
youngest.
theater, it's like way cheaper to do shows like that because you don't have to buy the rights to anything.
Oh yeah,
you
don't.
have to get,
No,
like,
you just like do like
throw
little
songs together.
reviews.
Yeah, reviews.
And so we'd go to those, and oh my god, I would be by far the youngest person ever.
Oh yeah, but people love it. That's why Forever Plaid does so well. And
I think it's
Menopause, the
fine, but
musical.
if I go to a show expecting to see Frankie Valli and that's the level of performance, I would be like,
people say
and
that
I'm
he
fine
loves
if you
it though,
lip
like he
sync,
loves
but-
being up there. So
Does
as
he?
long as he, I guess if that's
I
true,
want to
then
hear an
that's-
interview with him. I haven't heard an interview of anyone
isn't
talking
his wife
to
like
him.
30?
Probably.
Okay, well, on that note,
I mean, come on, guys. All men deserve to have young, hot wives.
piece of ass,
All men
yeah.
are just everything. They're amazing.
Get rid of us once we turn about 40. Gross.
Ugh.
Ew.
And men, they're sexy until they're 90.
Yeah, don't worry that we gave birth
Clearly,
to
I'm
children and stuff.
being sarcastic. I'm so over men this week. So, guys, guess what? Check out our Sex in the City episode this Friday. Or if you want to join our Patreon, you can. It's $6 a month, patreon.com/podinthecity. Though I'm sure if you're watching right now, you probably already are on our Patreon. I hope, though, we maybe got one subscriber. I'm making shorts again, so please try and watch them. Put a comment on them.
And stay around and leave comments on this
Yeah.
on the actual comment thing. And we're gonna go figure out what the fuck is happening with the timing thing, but it will be fixed next week. And then we're gonna have so many people here.
I think Amanda is gonna need to do the scheduling of it.
I'll check it out.
And
Yeah,
I
I'll
can
figure it
do
out.
the judging. If you
All right,
just
love it.
you
Sounds
do the
good.
scheduling and I'll judge.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right, guys. Have
Guys.
a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. And
Bye-bye.
later. Bye. Whoops. I almost said well, anyway, bye.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.